What's up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's episode of the Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast. This right here, what you're watching right now, your podcast or your favorite podcast's favorite podcast right here, right now. I want to welcome everybody to the show. I, of course, am the tutorial boss, your host, Guapo. With me is the man, the president of Squared Circle Pro, the leader of the LZ administration, the one, the only Rick LZ. Rick, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing as good as I can be doing. I'm slightly under the weather, but I'm getting over it and gonna have to be in tip-top shape for Saturday.
Saturday's going to be a wild one. No questions about that. Let's see. Before we get started, I got some thank yous. But before we even get into the thank yous, I've got chat already going crazy over here. See what we've got. We've got Mikey just subscribed for a 26th month in a row. Mikey, thank you so much. We've got Mary Youngblood in the chat. Erin Marie's in the chat. Janine Wade in the chat. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad you're here. You guys are the reason we do this, so I appreciate you being here so much. Let's knock a few thank yous out. To start with, I want to thank Ross and the boys from Labor 12 for our intro-outro music. Track's called Head Rush, album's called Monsters. They are working on a second album, working on music videos. They're doing all sorts of cool stuff. If you want to check it out, head on over to labor12.com. That's laborxii.com. Thank you to Joe and American Legacy for our Not Your Average merch. We got all the good stuff, and you can find it right there available at all our local shows. Thank you to JReb's 3D Printing. You see this little piece of awesome right here? That is a JReb original. You have some kind of logo, something you want put into a light box like this, Cameron is the one to do it. Get a hold of him, jrebs3dprinting.com. Thank you to heckyeahradio.com for having a little button on their website that says Not Your Average Mark. If you should happen to miss the podcast, and shame on you if you did, shame. If I had a bell, I'd ring it, follow you around the streets. But if it happens, you missed the podcast, you can always catch the audio version there at heckyeahradio.com. Thank you to the WrestlingSociety.com for including us in their podcast room. And of course, thank you to the one that puts it all together, makes it all work, the guy, Patrick, thank you so much. He's been doing some cool stuff. Of course, we've got our website, notyouraveragemark.com. We've got our Discord where we're watching PLEs, where we're doing watch-alongs for Raw, we're doing watch-alongs for SmackDown. Always a good time. Enjoy it every single time. So we'd love for you to join it as well. You can go to the About section of any of our socials and find the link to our Discord because, let's face it, I want you guys there as well. Looking over at the chat, Mary Youngblood, sorry I haven't been babysitting for a friend. That's okay, Mary, we're glad you're here now. Janine Wade saying, hey, Guapo, I want to say thank you for the keychain this past weekend. You are absolutely welcome. It was a pleasure to give it to you. So let's get into some wrestling, right? I mean, that is, of course, the podcast is about. Let's talk about some main roster moments. We'll start with SmackDown. And if I had to describe and put into one thing the first 15 minutes of SmackDown, it would be the phrase Brock ripped his pants. Because that is all anybody talked about the first 15 minutes of SmackDown.
Yeah. I guess people are lucky he had underwear on.
You know, that could have been a lot worse.
And in his favor, they were blue. So,
I mean, how embarrassing would it have been if they were red? I'm just saying. I dug the fact that R-Truth came out. You know, I love me some Ron Cena. Do love me some Ron Cena. I like that he came out and got in Lesnar's face only to be dismantled, I guess is a good word.
Yeah. Isn't that kind of R-Truth's thing, though? I mean, at this point, he's there to get killed.
He is. And he does a good job of it. Let me go ahead and throw that out there. He sells so well. It was lucky for him, unlike Brock, after getting picked up for an F5, it was lucky for Ron Cena that he was wearing the brown underwear.
And his name is John Cena.
I wouldn't leave. Just had J-Reb join up for a 27th month in a row. J-Reb, thank you so much, Cameron. It means everything. I appreciate you. Welcome to the show. We had Sami Zayn versus Rey Fenix. Now, of all the matches and all the names that were on the card that night, I'm going to go ahead and say that this was match of the night for me.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn and Rey Fenix, both such great talents. You put them in the ring together and you're going to get gold every single time.
It was a good match. It really was. It was, it was the kind of match that I feel like would appeal to the people that watch AEW, but at the same time, it wouldn't go as far as AEW goes to insult my intelligence. And so I feel like it was one of those, very physical, fast-paced type of matches, but yet was not devoid of psychology and was not devoid of selling. And those are the things I think that drag AEW's product down, because it's just 100 miles an hour of moves.
Mm-hmm. It's
so the nice mix.
It's New Japan Live, or New Japan Light.
It is. It is.
One thing I will say about this that was a breath of fresh air for me, this was one guy being the better man on this one night. No run-ins, no interferences, just a straight one-on-one, may the best man tonight win. And I dig that. And don't get me wrong, I know that the run-ins move the storylines and a lot of them are necessary. I just enjoyed seeing this being a straight one-on-one match.
Yes, I agree.
And that takes us to B-Fab versus Julia. It was a good match for what it was. This is my problem right now with B-Fab versus Julia. I don't, and I feel like it may be this way for some other people. I don't know where Julia thrived before. I'm going to say probably New Japan, yeah?
And she came from Stardom.
Stardom? Okay, and she was huge in Stardom.
Yeah.
But she has been mid-card since her return, and I really think that there are a few things that could be done differently with her to get her to that same level she was at Stardom, that just maybe the storyline's not there yet, or they're waiting to put her with the right person. But like her and Michin, her and B-Fab, it's mid-card at best, and I feel like both of them deserve better than that.
I think it has to be, though. They brought Julia in to NXT and they immediately pushed her to the top. And then they decided they wanted both her and Stephanie on the main roster. Main roster WWE is so women star heavy that you almost have to keep people in the mid card. And when your mid card is full of so many people who could be in the main event, that speaks to me nothing but how deep your roster is and how much you have in reserve when inevitably someone gets pregnant or someone gets hurt, which we've seen over the last 2 years. We've seen people drop to injury in the middle of stories. We've seen people get pregnant, have to, vacate championships. So, keeping people on the back burner, so to speak, I think is not only something that can help you down the road, but it's almost unavoidable with the level of talent they have right now.
No, and I agree with that. I fear that we run into a situation with Julia where they're keeping her on the back burner because there is something that's, they're coming up for her. But that something takes too long and you end up with a situation like you have with Andrade, where it's like, you know what, I just don't feel I'm being utilized correctly, so I'm going to go learn another move.
Well, I think Andrade had there was a lot of issues there. I mean, he had the relationship with Charlotte that fell apart. They're on the same roster. He had a wellness violation. He had a lot of things going on. I think that, it's just a different season for him. But I don't know. I just don't see that I don't see that Julia's in the same boat. I think that she is just waiting her turn. And so in the process, we're going to use her to help elevate Meechin a little bit, help elevate BFAB a little bit, give them some rub. I think it's smart right now.
Okay. Well, and that's why I enjoy these conversations, because it gives a perspective perhaps I haven't looked at on it, and that's always appreciated.
Yeah.
Looking at the chat, we've got Jello in the chat. What's up, Jello? Saying the crowd is not gravitating towards Julia, and I agree with that to an extent. I feel like we're almost there. Like there's going to be this thing that happens, and the crowd's going to get behind her. Just waiting for that.
The crowd cannot be behind everybody at the same time. There's only so much to go around, and WWE is in a place right now where to conceivably push everyone means that no one gets television time because there's so many people on TV. Go back to the Crash TV era of the Attitude Era. That people say all the time, well, everybody had a storyline, everybody was on television. Yeah, for 3 minutes apiece.
Yep.
So if you want to go back to the WWE that we were all griping about 6 years ago, then let's go ahead and get everybody on television. Let's start pushing everybody. Let's give everybody 3 minutes apiece, and everyone can have their time. Right now, we're in a place where you can have backstage segments. You can have a match once every 3 weeks, and you're not getting hurt. You're not getting lost in the shuffle. You're not getting pushed to the back. I mean, look how many times we had backstage segments for Bayley in the last month and a half. How many times has she actually wrestled in the last 2 months?
Oh, not many at all.
And yet when she hit the ring this last time, when she came out, what did the crowd do? They lost their mind.
Yes.
Because what's the rule? How can we miss you if
don't go away?
There you go. Can't be on television all the time.
Agreed. Mary Youngblood saying, I haven't watched Raw or SmackDown in a while. You're missing out, Mary. You need to catch up. Erin Marie saying, pushing too fast for some and got too many and not enough time. That is the formula for mid-card. That will definitely land you there. That takes us to our WWE Women's Championship match. Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. It was a good match. Like there's no way to put Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill in the same ring and not have a good match. I mean, it just is what it is.
Yeah, it was absolutely exactly what it was supposed to be. It was a good match. Everybody had a good showing, and we took another step. We did. We took another step for Jade. I think that at this point, I feel like very possible that Jade is the champion either at the Rumble or by the Rumble. I still think WrestleMania is going to be Bianca versus Jade for a title.
I agree with that. I think that's what we're going to get, and I think it's going to be an epic bout. Jello in the chat saying Alexa and Charlotte are doing a lot more backstage than they are in the ring. And they're the women's champions. And it works.
They are. They are. And that's the thing. And it's not affecting them negatively at all.
And I will throw out there to touch on your point of the Attitude Era and Crash TV. 3 minutes a segment. And that was when we were doing 3 hours.
Yeah, or sometimes 2 hours.
It took all 3 hours to get all those segments in. I liked this match. I'll talk more. We've got grinding my gears coming up later, and I'll talk more about this there. But there's some talk out there that bringing Nia in is the only way to move this forward. And I cannot disagree more. Like Nia is a part of this storyline. Like she and Tiffany have history. She and Jade have history. She is a part of this storyline. She's just not I'm going to be in a match every single time. And I think people need to realize that.
What do you think would make more sense? Would you continue with Tiffany as the champion all the way up into the Rumble and then have her drop the title to another babyface that everybody loves? Or have her renew her feud with Nia Jax and have Nia Jax screw that title off of Tiffany prior to the Rumble, lose the title to Jade at the Rumble, let Jade climb that mountain instead of Tiffany Stratton, and then go into WrestleMania against Bianca, who wins the Rumble, and then Tiffany can face Nia at WrestleMania and get her win back, and then we come out of Mania with either Bianca or Jade as the champion and Tiffany looking for retribution.
No, that's absolutely what you want.
I mean, so people look at it and go, "Oh, Nia Jax, why are they put?" Can we use our brains for 2 seconds?
Well, and I don't want to get too deep into it because, like I said, we're going to get into this in grinding my gears. But it grinds my damn gears that people don't look past the show they're watching. Coming out of that match, we go to Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre, and I like it. I think it was a great match. I've always been a fan of both of these guys, and I love how they're continually hinting at that Randy Orton heel turn. Like you're going back to the old Randy with the punt, and he nearly did it this time, but the ref's like, no, you can't do that. And Randy had a fit about it and ate a Claymore. This is not over. I do think that coming up at WrestlePalooza, we've got Drew versus Cody. I do think Cody drops the belt to Drew. I think Cody's got some things going on the Hollywood side of things that he's going to have to take care of. So I think he drops it to Drew, and I think we get a Drew and Randy battle for the title.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. Cody doesn't need the belt.
No.
Cody's over. Cody doesn't need the belt. Drew needs it. Drew needs it right now. If anybody on that roster needs it, Drew needs it. Because Drew has taken a crap ton of L's over the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
He needs it. He was the guy who, him alongside Bayley, I will tell you to the day that I die, Drew and Bayley were the MVPs of the Thunderdome era.
Yes.
And they will never get the recognition that they deserve for carrying that company on their collective backs.
They won't.
And Drew needs this moment. He needs this moment. He needs the feud with Randy Orton. And then when Cody's ready to come back, you got Randy right there with the title, probably. Because here's the thing. Randy is a guy who could eclipse John Cena's 17.
Yes. If he wins it, it'll be, 15 for him?
It'll be 15 for him, and he'll be 2 away from tie-in.
Well, and
which
here's
he can absolutely do.
Here, I'm going to steal a page out of your book. Talking about Cody not needing the belt, he doesn't, because what is the job of the face? To chase the belt.
That's right. Chase the belt.
You always want to chase as a
and if we finally get Cody Randy with as much personal issue as we have in that, how cool would it be for Cody to be chasing his 3rd championship?
Oh, absolutely. I've got Mary Youngblood in the chat saying, I'll see y'all Saturday. Have to lay down. Mary, get you some rest. We'll see you Saturday. Thanks for tuning in. All in all, SmackDown was good. Like, it wasn't anything like amazing. The matches were good. The stories moved along. I give it a solid B. I mean, it wasn't a bad show.
It was perfectly acceptable wrestling.
Yes. That needs to be
TV shows do not have to wow you every week. All they have to do is get you to the next show. And sometimes they can be awesome shows. You'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe how cool Raw was, or can't believe how cool SmackDown was. But as long as it's enough to get you over the hump to the next show, that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And just so it's said, I'm going to have to get a hold of Joe and American Legacy, because I need a shirt that says perfectly acceptable wrestling.
I mean, excuse me. Look at it this way. When you were watching the show, at any time did you grab your clicker and move it to another channel?
Not at all.
At any time did you fall asleep during the show?
Not even a little bit.
At any time did you lose your attention to the point that you found yourself doing a puzzle or playing on the internet?
Mm-mm.
Okay, then it was a great show.
Yes, perfectly acceptable wrestling.
Because I guarantee you, there are some shows that I watch that I spend the entire show completely lost in my own brain because they can't keep my attention.
Well, this was not one of those. Like I said, I give it a B. Mikey giving it a B plus. Jello in the chat saying, "How can the ref stop Orton that way?" Because we can't get the punt just yet. We always got to have a ref stop it or have the opponent roll out of the ring. Something's going to stop the punt until it's time. And when it's time, it's going to be epic.
It will be, and when it finally happens, it's probably going to be on Cody.
Probably. Mikey's saying I did that last night. He must have been watching AEW. Oh, the clown show. But let's get to things that are not quite as clowny. Let's get to some notes on Raw. Before we do, I want to remind everybody, if you haven't done it already, go to the socials, click all the things, the likes, the shares, the follows, the bells, the whistles, all of it. Click everything. Click all the things. Mike Petty joining us in the chat. Mike, what's up, brother? Says, how y'all doing tonight? Doing good, man. Enjoying the chance to get out here and talk wrestling with everybody. So going into Raw, of course, we get John Cena. Because if you're going to start SmackDown with Brock Lesnar, you got to start Raw with John Cena. Who take away the wrestling, take away the this is my music, take away all the helping the kids. Pumping a show, pumping a match, pumping a PLE is something when John Cena is gone is going to be sorely lacking.
Yeah.
Nobody hypes the show the way John Cena hypes the show.
Yeah, he is absolutely a hype man.
And he did exactly that. And I love the way he did it. He's like, am I scared of Brock Lesnar? Because he's big bad John Cena. Am I scared of Brock Lesnar? Yes, I am. Am I worried about Brock Lesnar? Yes, I am. But is he going to have to kill me to make me quit? Yes, he is. And the crowd went nuts for it. And I dig it.
Yep.
It was the perfect cap for WrestlePalooza.
Yep.
After that, we get Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez. This was a good match all the way around. Of course, you know me. I am a huge Lyra Valkyria fan. I think she did awesome. Roxanne Perez has earned the name The Prodigy.
Yeah.
She is, both of those ladies, such great talents. But the thing coming out of this match that everybody's talking about is, of course, Lyra gets the win. But as soon as she gets the win, here comes Raquel Rodriguez, and her and Roxanne Perez just throw a beat down. And here comes Bayley. Bayley is back. All 18 personalities of her are back. We get violent Bayley when she's beating the hell out of everybody. Then we got Hugger Bayley, who's like, jump. Did you see Corey Graves? He was like, my wife's going to kill you and me. I'm going to need you to stop. She's hugging commentary. Joe Tessitore, you smiled a little too much. I'm just going to throw that out there. She's hugging the crowd. She's hugging the crew. If Stu is out there, I'm sure he'd got a hug. Everybody except Lyra. Lyra didn't get a hug.
Yeah.
Lyra was a little worried. And of course, later in the night, Lyra goes up to thank Bayley, walks up to the door, and Bayley is yelling at Bayley. And she opens the door, and Bayley's just sitting there chilling. And she's like, I want to say thank you. And get out of my dressing. Like, if we don't get a Three Faces of Foley type thing out of this, I'm going to be sad.
Well, we are. We're going to get the hugger, we're going to get the role model, and we're going to get Ding Dong Hello. So it's all of it.
I can't wait. I have said I can't tell you how many times on this show that I think Bailey is one of the greatest because it doesn't matter who you put in the ring with Bailey, she elevates them. But now you have 3 different types of Bailey to elevate people.
See, and this is what, dude. Okay, look, I'm just gonna put on the fantasy booking hat for a second
Go ahead.
because I'm telling you,
Let you
man,
talk. I got to refill my water.
Women's Royal Rumble. Entry number 1. Ding dong, hello. Bailey comes out through the door and she starts with the heel character. She gets eliminated. Number 15, we get the role model. We get the role model who was with Damage Control and afterwards, and then she gets eliminated. And then number 30, we get the old music, we get the top side knot, and we get the Bailey Buddies inflated, and Bailey Buddy Hugger Bailey is number 30. Tell me that crowd's not going to crap their pants.
Oh, absolutely. I'm here for it. Because I thought it was cool whenever we got, Cactus Jack, Dude Love, and Mankind. Like, I thought it was
all in the 98 Royal Rumble. All in the 98 Royal Rumble.
I'm here for it. Make it happen.
Exact same gimmick. She can do the exact same gimmick.
Trips, call me later. We need to talk about this. Of course we talk. Mike Petty in the chat saying, what do y'all think is going to happen when Liv Morgan comes back? There are so many different places Liv could land in a storyline, and it worked. No problem.
Yeah. I feel like everybody's expecting her to come back and do the Roxanne Perez thing. I don't know that that's going to happen. I don't know. I feel like the piece of the story that we needed for that to make sense, they pivoted. They took tag belts off of Raquel and Roxanne. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with Liv. I mean, I'd like to see her come back, but I honestly don't know what they've got planned for her.
It'll be interesting to see. We got Jello in the chat saying group therapy sessions with Bailey, Nikki Cross, Tatum Paxley, and led by Alexa Bliss. That's TV gold right there. I'll be all for it. Speaking of under 5'4" crazy people, we go into AJ Lee and CM Punk getting face-to-face with Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. Here's the thing. Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, the world champion and the women's intercontinental champion. You cannot define a power couple any better. They are the Trips and Steph of the current era, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and
they are.
You get CM Punk and AJ Lee, they come out. You have to understand, I am married to a woman who spent the majority of her young life on the East Coast. So to hear AJ Lee say, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what I might do. I mean, I'm a Puerto Rican from New Jersey. I may shank a chick. I don't know. Like, I could hear my wife saying these words.
Yeah.
Like, Mama Guapo will cut somebody.
That was a funny line.
I love the buildup they have here. I saw a video today. It's CM Punk kind of laid down quiet like this, and AJ's doing press, like she's doing media, and he's like, I'm talking quietly because my wife is doing media right now, but she just said that she's unpredictable and she doesn't know what's going to happen. We may fight. We may have a 4-way kiss. I just want to go on the record as saying that's not going to happen.
That's funny.
It's so funny.
Yeah, that's an AEW angle. That's an AEW angle.
That's an AEW angle. But it was just watching the comfort between AJ Lee and CM Punk, and I don't know what the right word is, the psychology on the other side of that match. I am very excited for this. I will say Becky made a good point in this. Is the neck okay? Is the neck going to be a factor? Like that's a very valid point, in my opinion. Anyway.
I mean, I think they're definitely going to sell it. I think she's definitely going to sell it. She'll play baby apparel for a little bit with the neck. But I think that I don't know that this match is going to have a decisive finish. I feel like there's so much more there. I don't, unless it does end with AJ pinning Becky so that AJ has a reason to challenge for the Intercontinental title. So, I mean,
my personal prediction is that by the end of the match, AJ Lee gets the pin on Bayley so that she does have the shot at the title.
Yeah. I mean, that's completely plausible. That's completely plausible.
I don't know. I am so looking forward to this match. And just so everybody knows, of course, I won't have the opportunity to do a watch along on Saturday because I will be at Squared Circle Pro Birthaversary. But on Sunday, I'm going to do a replay of it, and we will do a watch along on that for anybody that didn't get to see it or anybody that wants to watch it again. So join us in Discord on Sunday. I'll put a time out as soon as I figure out what time I'm going to do that. And come join us on Discord. Let's do a watch along. Got Jello in the chat saying AJ's ease with the mic and the crowd after a decade away stuns me. It doesn't me. All she's been doing while she's gone is writing books and public speaking. So the ease on the mic doesn't surprise me in the least. But she is definitely something the crowd has been waiting for.
Yeah.
And I still say she's a vampire. She's got to be. Look at CM Punk when he left. And look at CM Punk when he came back 10 years later. Now look at AJ Lee when she left. And look at AJ Lee 10 years later. Side by side, same person.
Yeah. She's definitely taking care of herself. And, the thing is that she wasn't in wrestling for that long. I mean, she's one of those, like, that her career was actually really short for like how she's revered and looked at. Like to me, it's the same thing. I know that Steve Austin started wrestling in '86. I get that. But Steve Austin, the Star, that was like a 4-year thing. Like that was it. And people talk about him as a Mount Rushmore guy. His time on top was like that.
True, but it's the impact that had.
Yeah, and I think AJ did make an impact while she was there, but I think that's what it speaks to is that sometimes the impact outweighs the tenure, and I think she's definitely one of those that did that. Yeah.
So, Dragon Lee versus El Grande Americano, or as I like to call him, El Grande Austriano. I like how comfortable he's getting in that role. We all know it's Kaiser, Ludwig Kaiser. Like we all know that, right?
He's growing a mustache. He's growing a mustache.
Wow.
Yeah, he's growing a mustache so that he won't look like the regular Ludwig Kaiser.
All he needs now is a pair of glasses, and he'll be good.
Yeah.
This was a good match, though. I enjoyed it, and ladies and gentlemen, I finally got the thing I've been asking for. I told you, Trips listens. He's listening to the show. I've asked for it 100 times. I finally get 3 Grande Americanos pointing at each other like this. I got the Spider-Man thing from the Grande. And I dug it. It was great.
That's funny.
So while we were watching Raw, Jello and I came up with an idea that we have to we have to put it together and get it a little tighter, but we have an idea that needs to happen, and Jello would like your reaction to it.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a battle royal, a women's battle royal,
Okay.
and we're going to call it the War Under 5'4". Alexa Bliss, Tatum Paxley, Kairi Sane, Io Sky. We came up with 20 people, 20 ladies that are under 5'4". We call it the War Under 5'4".
I like it only if, in order to get into the ring, you have to go through a turnstile like an amusement park that says you have to be this tall to ride the ride, and the person standing at the sign that's controlling the turnstile has to be Hornswoggle.
You know what? I'm down. That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Then put somebody in there who's just slightly taller than that, and then have him say, "No, you have to go back."
You gotta go.
And then they step out of their lifts, and you realize they had lifts then, and now they're short enough, and they can go in.
Yep, but the sign's got, instead of saying the sign saying you've got to be this tall to ride, it needs to say you have to be under this tall.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you have to be this tall or under, you know. You cannot be taller than this.
Trips, I'm saying we gotta make this happen. It's good stuff. Speaking of good stuff, Stephanie Vaquer versus Kairi Sane. This, of course, set up by Asuka, who had a big bug on her face.
Yeah. She had a centipede.
She did, in fact.
It means stuff in Japanese culture.
It does. It does. I like where they're going with Asuka Kairi thing, and I hate where they're going with the Asuka Kairi thing. That's the beauty of WWE today, is I can both love and hate a storyline.
Look, right now, the two moments that I look forward to most on WWE television is Asuka screaming, "Kali!" and Kyrie freaking out about it, and Becky saying, "It's not just me who says it, other people say it, Sports Illustrated says it." If I can get those two things every week, I'm happy.
See, I can already hear it now. I can hear it down the road at Squared Circle Pro. I am the greatest ring announcer in West Texas, and I'm not the only one that says it. The Lubbock Avalanche Journal says it. Oh, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. I love it.
That's awesome.
There's no way this was going to be a bad match. I mean, let's face it. It's
No.
Stephanie Vaquer and Kairi Sane. We did, of course, end up with Stephanie Vaquer getting the win, but I could watch these two go at each other all day.
Yeah. I agree.
Jello saying poor Kyrie's going to have PTSD.
She already does. Every
Yes,
time
good.
Asuka yells at her, she shivers and has a breakdown.
So we start the show off, and I didn't talk about this earlier because I wanted to save it for this. We start the show off with main event Jey Uso and LA Knight yelling at each other, and my personal hero, Adam Pearce, saying, "All right, shut up, go to the office. Let's talk about this in there." So they talk about it in there, and they say, "Okay, you want the bronze? Fine, you can have the bronze. Pick a partner." And so he picks Jimmy, and Jay's like, "No, and which, of course, LA Knight's answer to was, "Yeah." So add her to the group therapy. Yeah, we got to add Kyrie to the group therapy. So LA Knight goes and talks to Jimmy, and Jimmy's like, "I don't like where this is going, man. No, I'm not going to do it." So Jimmy talks to Jay, and he's like, I already told him I'm not going to do it. Jay's like, you better not. And Jimmy's like, wait a minute, hold up. Don't talk to me like that. I'm the big brother, okay? You ain't Roman. You ain't going to talk to me like that. And walks off and tells LA Knight, hey, still looking for a partner? I'm in. Yeah. So that's what we get at the end of the night is we get LA Knight and Jimmy Uso versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. It's a good match. You get exactly what you expect you're going to get. LA Knight's on fire. Jimmy has the super kicks. And I love his hit. Like, it's effective, and I dig it. It's very showy. We start getting the beat down from Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Out comes Jay Uso with the chair. Get everybody out of the ring. He puts his hand out, shakes LA Knight's hand, turns around to Jimmy. LA Knight hits him with the BFT. And the crowd, for the first time, and I can't tell you how long, the crowd booed LA Knight. Now I have to question something here. Trips, what are you doing? What are you trying to do to me here? Because one day you got me all mad at Jimmy or at Jay, and the next day you got me all mad at LA Knight. Are you testing the waters here? Are you trying to find out who the crowd's going to be? What are you doing?
I think that's exactly what they're doing. I think they are playing with the popularity of two guys that are kind of even keel. And I think that that's what they're doing. I don't think they want to turn either guy heel. I don't think that they want either guy to be an uber babyface. I think they're giving them a chance to kind of cool down a little bit so that they can rev them back up. You cannot have somebody be on a 11 all the time, every day, every week, year after year after year. You're going to blow people up. You're going to burn people out. And if you can bring people down for just a little bit, you'll give them a chance to pop back up. And I think that's what's happening with Jay and LA Knight right now. They're giving each guy a chance to kind of cool down.
No, what they're playing with is my emotions, and they need to stop it.
Again, you can't have everybody be pushed at the same time. So,
line of the night for me on the show, aside from AJ Lee's, I'm a Puerto Rican from New Jersey line of the night. Jimmy looking Jay in the face, say, you ain't wearing no ulafala.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I dug that. That was good. All in all, I enjoyed Raw. I give it a strong A-. Like it was good, perfectly acceptable wrestling.
Yes.
We moved a lot of storylines, and we had some good matches. What more can you ask for out of a show? I want to talk for just a minute about NXT Homecoming. Did my very first watch along of an NXT show. Shout out to Jello for the idea, saying, "Hey, why don't we go ahead and watch? Why don't we watch NXT Homecoming?" So shout out to him. It was a great idea. It was a great show. You'll notice that I'm wearing my Balor Club shirt in honor of the fact that he did the thing. Finn came out to his old music, he did the thing. It was great. I enjoyed it, every minute of it.
It was a good show. It was a good show.
Really
I had to go back and watch it in hindsight because I was on a podcast. So I didn't get to watch it live, but I got to watch it in hindsight. I really enjoyed it. Thought it was really, really good.
I did too. And I talk a lot of trash about AEW, what they do wrong. Let me speak for just a second on what NXT did right with Homecoming. They moved storylines. Of course, they're coming up on No Mercy. They were able to plug different things for No Mercy. They used main roster talent that are former NXT talent to push current NXT talent.
Yes.
And they gave the nostalgia because as a wrestling fan myself, there's always a nostalgia factor that I love. So when you start the show with Triple H and then have Shawn Michaels come out and they get face to face, and then you have William Regal come out and say there's only one way to settle this: War Game. Like, the nostalgia factor there is great. So
I think that segment actually was done to plant a seed.
Oh, that's Survivor Series, right? Yeah.
I don't know that it's Survivor Series. I think that the fact that William Regal's there, the fact that he said War Games, the fact that Michaels was out there, I think that this next week we're going to see a TNA invasion.
With all the tweets they kept popping up about what TNA people were saying, absolutely.
I think the TNA invasion is happening next week. And I think at leading up to Bound for Glory, we're going to have a lot of interaction between TNA and NXT. And I don't know that it happens at Bound for Glory or if it happens at the next WWE show after that. But I do believe that we are going to get a TNA versus NXT, and I think William Regal will say War Games.
I think so. I think you're absolutely right. And people, of course, are questioning, what did Triple H mean by "what if I want to come back"?
I think that was done for comedy. I really do. I think that was done. I think people are looking too much into that.
Well, I enjoyed the show. Again, Jello, thanks for the suggestion. It was a lot of fun, and I loved it. We have finally gotten back on track now that vacations and all the different things going on are done. We've gotten back on track, and we had our first in a long time Wrestling Talk Wednesday question. The question that was put out there was, with AJ Lee coming back, her return, and all the just huge fan pop for it, what was your favorite return? And we got some pretty good answers. We got Mike Horton said the build up to WrestleMania 19. Stone Cold comes back. The Rock confronts, giving us millennials one more round of the greatest rivalry. Aaron Marie said there were too many to count. She has The Undertaker, The Fiend, John Cena, Y2J, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, CM Punk, AJ Lee. We've got Jello saying Damage Control at SummerSlam. Of course, some that I threw in there for myself. Cena returning at the 08 Rumble. That was huge. Triple H returning after the quad tear, coming back looking like a damn grizzly bear. Like, I still, to this day, I remember him coming back and he's in his jean jacket with the Triple H vest, and he does the whole thing like this, and he looked like a damn grizzly bear. Like, he got jacked.
Yeah.
The Hardys returning at Mania with the New Day going, somebody wants to join this match. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And the Death from Above hits and the crowd goes crazy. One of my personal favorites, Taker returning at Judgment Day after all the the thing with the girls doing the "now I lay me down to sleep" thing, and then him coming out on the bike. And from that point forward, for about 6 months, if he and X-Pac were in the same state, X-Pac was getting jumped. It is what it is.
Yeah, that's true.
I've got a couple more I want to do, but before I do, you brought up a really good one, and I want you to talk about it. And that would be Magnum TA walking down the aisle at Crockett Cup 87 after his car accident.
Yeah. Wrestling returns. Sometimes it's coming back to wrestle. Sometimes it's just coming back for an appearance. One of the things that I love about wrestling returns is when they can kind of trigger the heartstrings a little bit. Because I feel like there's people out there that look at, like, people that were online crying because AJ Lee came back. Maybe that touched them. Maybe that was something that touched them. There have been several times in my wrestling fandom that I have been moved by a moment. I was moved when Bray Wyatt came back. I was moved by Cody Rhodes' return. I was moved by AJ a little bit.
Yeah.
It happens. But I think the one return that has probably moved me more than anything was Magnum TA walking to the ring at the Crockett Cup in February of '87, because 4 months prior to that, he was on a trajectory to beat Ric Flair for the NWA World Title at Starrcade '86, and he wrapped his Porsche around a pole. And he was told he would never walk again. He had spinal damage. They had to use the jaws of life to get him out of that Porsche. And he was messed up. And they said he will never walk again. And he walked with the assist of a cane, with one arm in a sling, down to that ring. And Tully Blanchard and Lex Luger were already in the ring because it was the finals. And Dusty and Nikita came down, and to watch them take the time to hug Magnum TA, and you could tell that everybody was emotional. Everyone was emotional. People, the stands, like there was not a dry eye in the house. And then you get some of one of the greatest pieces of commentary that I ever heard somebody say, and I can't remember if it was Shivani or if it was David Crockett. I can't remember who said it, but somebody said, with that kind of emotion, they said, Tully Blanchard and Lex Luger don't stand a chance. They've already lost.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just amazing. Just said, but only wrestling can do that.
No,
That's
absolutely right.
Pro wrestling is that there's no other sport or art form out there that can do that for me.
No, I agree with that wholeheartedly. And Mike's got a couple of good ones as well. Edge at the 2020 Rumble and Roman coming back after his battle with leukemia. That was very moving. And then, of course, I've got two that have to do with the Hall of Fame that were moving for me personally. That was Warrior's return at the Hall of Fame. Getting to give his speech, getting to get into the Hall of Fame. And then, of course, most recently, Lex Luger standing at the podium at the Hall of Fame. That was, I was nearly in tears. I'm not going to lie. And it has to do with that nostalgia. It has to do with seeing Lex Luger, the narcissist, the total package, like he was bigger than life. And to know that he was bound to a wheelchair and still has it in him to stand, like, it was a lot.
Well, I mean, again, the emotion that a return can give, I know that it's not cool to talk about him right now, and we're not, certainly don't condone what happened or what allegedly may have happened or what's going on. But, for me, when we came back to fans after the year and some time that we were off of fans, that first show back with that loud crowd and McMahon's music hit at the very beginning of the show, who didn't get goosebumps? I don't care how you feel about Vince McMahon. Who didn't get goosebumps? And then for him to come out and all he said was, "Where the hell have you been?" And the crowd pops and everybody giggles and he leaves. And that was it. That was one of the best moments, like, I remember seeing in a long time. Like, that was like I could finally breathe again, after forever.
No, I agree. And it just goes to show how much, like you were saying, this professional wrestling is the only place that can happen. And, we got to see all sorts of, not so much returns, but return to form when we watched NXT Homecoming. We got to see Tommaso Ciampa with the face paint and coming out to the old music. We got to see Finn Balor do the thing. There's, I don't know, it's a lot and it's awesome and I love every minute of it. Things I don't love do one thing in particular, and that is grind my gears. It's a segment that I introduced a while back, and we're going to get into it today because the internet wrestling community has pissed me off once again, and we're going to talk about it. The big talk.
Come on.
The big talk right now in the internet wrestling community, of course, is the announcement that Mania for the first time ever in life, will be in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, no.
People are losing their collective shit. It's the end of WWE. I've seen that this is how AEW overtakes WWE. I've heard that my personal favorite, that they're absolutely killing the women's division by making them adhere to the rules of Saudi Arabia. All that says to me is, I don't get to see tits and ass. I'm mad.
Yeah. No, I don't get to see scantily clad women. Oh, no. I'm sorry. It doesn't say porn or OnlyFans on the marquee. It says
sure does.
wrestling. I don't care. I don't care if they're wearing a bodysuit or not. They can still wrestle.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Look at the last 2 years of Saudi shows and try to tell me that they don't have place for women. They had a freaking women's elimination chamber, for Christ's sake.
No, I agree.
They've had they've had 2 multi-person matches in Saudi. So don't tell me no, look, it's a 10-year deal. They make $50 million a show. They offered them $250 million for one Mania. Did you honestly think in 10 years you weren't going to get one? I mean,
Well,
come
not
on.
only that, and this is something you and I discussed before, when the parent company of TKO, Endeavor, bought WWE, they bought it for $9 billion with a B.
$9 billion. Yeah.
They're going to get that money back.
Yes, they are. They're going to get that money. And how dare a company try to make money? How dare? It's just ridiculous to see the entitledness. This is why I am of the opinion that WWE should take 60% of its business outside of the country. With 60% of everything, PLEs, TV shows, whole 9 yards. Take it and go. Go give it to the crowds that'll appreciate it, the ones that'll scream and yell for it, the ones that want to be up for it, and leave America with that 40% and start making the fans in this country miss it enough to give a crap. Because right now, this Saudi announcement for Mania, more than anything else, has shown you how entitled the American fans are.
No, and I don't disagree with you, but I think Aaron Marie.
The rest of the world has had to spend the last 30 to 40 years watching pay-per-views at 3 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? America can take a back seat for a little bit.
Well, I don't have personally, I would prefer to keep the big 4 in America. But I don't think that, we're going to have any less of a show with it being in Saudi. But Aaron Marie does make a good point. As far as the Saudi show goes, as the current climate overseas does make me concerned for the talent themselves.
Yeah, I have said that from the very beginning. I don't like that they're over there. It worries me that they're there. But I also know that they are running a business. Right. And if we're now in a place where they're going to accept the highest bid, then we are looking at an opportunity. You could see, honestly, if that Mania does really well, you could see a few Manias in Saudi Arabia because those people have a lot of disposable cash.
This is fair.
So we are in a place. John Cena's final match is not going to be in Boston because Washington, D.C. outbid it.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, they are going to the highest bidder. So if people want these shows, pony it up.
Yep. That's the way. I mean, like I said, they're going to get. They're going to get their $9 billion back.
Now, did you hear about the ridiculous online push for AEW to have a show on that weekend? Okay. Now get this. This is great. Imagine for just a second that Tony Khan reaches out CMLL, NWA, New Japan, MLW, you name it, reaches out. And Tony puts on a 2-day gigantic stadium extravaganza in America to go head to head with the Saudi Mania, to go head to head with Saudi Mania. Now, let's imagine for a second who that show is for. That show would be conceivably for all of the people who are so outraged that WWE, how dare they try to make some money and go to Saudi Arabia. We're going to have this show so that those people have something to watch. We're also trying to grab the lapsed fans who are kind of tired of paying high ticket prices and they've checked out. We're going to try to grab the people who are pissed off that ESPN costs $30 and I'm tired of having to pay for pay-per-views that are more than $9 a month. You know, we're trying to grab all those people. And then we have this show and it flops because all of those people that he's trying to serve are the people online who do nothing but sit in their echo chambers with their fake outrage and their virtue signaling and all that other crap that they do just to try and get clicks because they want to be negative. Those people don't support the product anyway. What makes you think they're going to support the B show when it goes head to head with the other show? They're not. It'll be the biggest flop that he's ever put on. And I can't wait for it. I'm here for it because it will expose the idiots who don't support anyway. And those are the people who need to be thrown under the bus.
No, I agree with you. Now, Mikey does make a good point, going off of what you said. WWE going elsewhere, like doing, like you're saying, 60% in out of the country, not doing house shows anymore. It's going to sell more tickets when they do have a show in the market, and it helps indie wrestling.
Yep. Now, and what's one of WWE's big focus right now? WWE ID, indie wrestling. If we do something that could help indie wrestling that benefits WWE too, of course it does.
Yes. Now, I brought this up to you last night, I think it was. If we did see a shed of WWE fans, I don't think Tony Khan has the wherewithal to, or at least the mental capabilities to make a show out of it. But you do have the opportunity for a GCW or an MLW to or even a TNA to take that step to be the next big promotion in America. And everybody, we've said it 100 times, competition is healthy.
Yeah, but all it takes is for one little thing to happen and everybody changes course. Because remember when AEW took off, the big thing was this is going to be the product for all of the people who don't like what Vince McMahon is trying to feed them. And as soon as Vince was gone, where did all those people go? Right back home to WWE.
Yep.
So all it will take is for one little thing to happen. Maybe WWE doesn't sign a new contract with Saudi. You know, maybe the ticket prices do start to go down. And then those people that abandoned it are going to do the same thing they always do. They're going to turn around and be the hypocrites that they were to begin with, and they're going to turn right around and go back. That's why when I see these people jabbering online in their echo chambers, I just bookmark crap on Twitter, and I have a giant list of bookmarks that I go back and look so that when they do come back and they are posting about it, I go call them out on it and tell them that they were idiots to begin with. That's my favorite thing in the world. I love being petty to idiots online. Love it.
Our next grinding my gears is a personal one for me because somebody actually, first off, let me tell this person, thanks for tuning in for 2.5 minutes, but only caught a portion of the last time we did grinding my gears and decided that I had bad takes on things and how dare I and blah. Let me make very clear the things I'm talking about and grind my gears are things I'm seeing online. I'm quoting. These are not my opinions. As a matter of fact, I disagree with about 99.99% of them. These are not my opinions. These are things from people I'm finding online that I think are absolute ridiculousness and need to be exposed. The next one being, we are ruining women's wrestling with the likes of Nia Jax and the Secret Hervis. And I don't even remember who the other, there was 4 people they named off. Are you kidding me?
What is the logic? What is the logic in that statement? Like, I don't.
Do you want my opinion of what the logic is? I mean, well, first off, there is no logic, but the majority of the people, with the exception of Alba Fire, that this idiot online mentioned are ruining women's wrestling are not this big around.
Oh, okay. So the thicker girls are ruining women's wrestling. Okay. I'm gonna need a couple people.
Ryan, that was one of the other ones.
Dial that clock back to the advent of women's wrestling, and most of the girls who were at the advent of women's wrestling were thicker, chunky chicks. Because they were positioned to be bruiser women who could brawl. Because here's the thing, if I'm going to watch 2 women have a fight and one of them looks like Piper Niven and the other one looks like Dakota Kai, let me tell you something. I know a lot of people love Dakota Kai, but I don't believe for 5 seconds that she could beat up Piper Niven in a fight.
Ever. Mikey had,
and that's
correct. They weren't cookie cutter women. And Piper's one of the best.
The beauty of wrestling is we can craft a story where Dakota gets her ass beat and she works her way up and she finally gets a win and everybody's happy for it. Okay? That's fine. That's storytelling. But bigger, thicker, powerful chicks with a real fighting stance, those are the ones that are the tough ones. That's why they're always positioned that way. They're the mountains to climb. They're the monsters. Because those are the tough ones. And when they all look like tiny little Barbie dolls, that to me is more detrimental to women's wrestling. If you expect me to believe that somebody the size of Zelina Vega can go toe-to-toe with Nia Jax, then that's you insulting my intelligence.
No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. And I would invite this jackwagon that decided to put this out there to take his ass back to 1998 and family friendly, stay there.
Not even 98. Hell, go back to 2010 during the pinup era. You know, when the Diva Search era, where every girl that was being cranked out was a cookie cutter Barbie doll. When you looked around and you saw Beth Phoenix and Natalya standing out, it's because every girl surrounding them looked like they walked right off of Beverly Hills 90210.
Wholeheartedly, I agree. And Mikey makes a good point. You want to take a look back even further at, talking about the advent of women's wrestling? Look at Bull Nakano.
Hello.
I'm just saying.
Aja Khan. Aja Khan, Rhonda Singh.
So that jackwagon has no place coming back to my show. And kids, cover your ears, earmuffs. Fuck that dude.
Tell me you don't know anything about wrestling without telling me you don't know anything about wrestling.
Exactly. So we're gonna go with 2 more here so we can get to talking about Birthaversary. But one of the things I read was they were sending talent. They can't make it on the main roster to NXT to die at Homecoming. Talking about Damian Priest and DIY and even Finn Balor. Yeah, FTG for that John Smith guy, Mike.
That's just dumb. That's just dumb.
It is. It's completely
Although,
idiotic.
can I say, I would love it if Tyler Breeze would come back full time. I would love to see him in NXT. I miss Tyler Breeze. I loved his character. It was so
Oh, so
nice to
pretty,
see
man.
him. Dude, that music is such a banger. That's such a banger song. I miss him so much.
Now, I'm going to throw this last one out there with the preface of exactly what you said. Tell me you know nothing about wrestling without telling me you know nothing about wrestling. The quote is, how can they absolutely ruin Bobby Roode's return with giving him a Christian knockoff gimmick? What are they talking about? They're talking about the fact that Bobby Roode does this, and you hear glorious. And it used to be every time Christian walked out, he would say Christian. So they're calling it a sad knockoff.
Yeah. Yeah. The Christian song was called At Last.
Uh-huh.
And the opening was a parody of Bohemian Rhapsody. And he used it for about 4 months.
Yeah.
It was like that long. And it doesn't sound anything like Bobby Roode's music.
Nope, not at all. They're just taking that one little piece, the glorious and the Christian thing, the choral note.
And I would ask that person, I would challenge that person to go back during the time when Christian was using that song and find me any footage at all of the crowd actually singing it with Christian versus the NXT crowd singing that song at Bobby Roode.
Nope, I wholeheartedly agree. Well, those are the things today.
You won't find it.
Those are the things today that are just grinding my damn gears. And with that, we're going to go into Squared Circle Pro Birthaversary this Saturday night, Jake's Back Room, Lubbock, Texas. It's going to be a wild one. I've got a list of matches here to run through with you to talk about. The first being Nolan Phillips, the self-proclaimed smartest man in the room, versus somebody to be announced, to be determined.
It's not just somebody.
Not
Two
just
people.
Two somebodies. Okay.
It is a handicap match, sir, because Nolan Phillips is the smartest guy in SCP. His words. So now you're going to face two people that you have no chance to prepare for, and we'll find out just how smart you are, buddy.
Nolan, I wish you the best, man. That's a tall order. To not only be facing one person, be facing two and having no clue who it is.
I'm giving him the opportunity to prove me wrong.
I respect it. I respect it. We have an 8-man tag. JC Bravo, Cesar Torres, of course, of the CWO, along with Jesse James and the Cisco Kid, versus some names that are relatively new to Squared Circle Pro in Julius Trojan, Kyle Hoxton, Mateo Navarro, and Morgan Shade.
Yes, they are Les Hommes, which is French for the boys. And they're a French quartet that are currently on a Southwest American tour, and they're stopping in at S.C.P to test their mettle against our talent. And I actually worked alongside TJ to set this match up. He wanted the kids. He wanted Jesse and Cisco to have an opportunity. And Emilio Guzman is not going to be at the show because he's going to be at, I believe, he's going to be at Kings of Sport, right? And that where he's at. Yeah, he's going to be there. So he's got a title to defend. And so Carnalis World Order needed some help. And so we're going to have this 4-on-4. That will be the show opener on Saturday.
I will need you to pronounce their team name a couple more times for me Saturdays, because I have to announce that, and I don't want to say Les Homies.
The H is silent, and the LE is pronounced LA. It's Les Hommes.
Les Homies. Okay, I can do that. I'm gonna say it just like that.
Or
too.
you can just say
Les Omegas.
the boy.
Yeah,
Or
I may
you
do
can just
that.
say the boy.
All right, so we have an island street fight on our hands. Baby Samoa, Brian Rage Rivera. I don't think I even have to speak to the animosity between these two over the years.
Well, they have been apart now for almost a full year, and this is the first one-on-one.
Yes.
And I am absolutely dumbfounded that after the year of having his ass handed to him that Brian Rivera has experienced at the hands of Baby Samoa, that he would choose for their first one-on-one outing to be a match with no rules. Have you lost your mind? Like, so, okay, again, much like Nolan, you wanted it, buddy. You're getting it. So there you go.
You have to understand about Rage, though. He's a Puerto Rican from the Bronx. He's been known to shank a dude every now and then.
That's true. And Baby Samoa is Samoan. They've been known to eat a dude every now and then.
You're not wrong. Either way, this one's going to get violent and this one's going to get crazy. And I, for one, am looking forward to it. I'm going to announce it and then get the hell out of the way.
Smart move. Smart move.
We've got JP Nitro, Lubbock's own, going up against Draven Reeves for the Heck Yeah Radio iPay-per-view championship. This ought to be a good one.
TJ asked for this match for JP, and I had no problem because I completely have confidence in Draven Reeves to retain that championship. We're going to see what JP has in his, see what he's got to bring to the ring, because the last time he caught Draven on the heels of a gauntlet style match where he had multiple opponents. So now it will be a fresh Draven Reeves versus JP Nitro. So we'll see what happens.
I'm looking forward to that. Both of these guys good in the ring. Of course, Draven Reeves, your Heck Yeah Radio iPay-per-view champion. Well, second time champion, I believe it is.
2 times. Yep. He was the original.
Absolutely, he was. And JP Nitro, the crowd loves JP Nitro. He's done big things in the ring, and this is his chance to put some gold around his waist if he can get through Draven Reeves.
Yeah, if he can get through it.
We have La Migra, excuse me, that being, of course, Diablo Blanco and Chris Watson. Sorry, old habits. Versus Jordan Slade and Alluvio.
Yes.
This is going to get ugly. That's the best I can put it. Watson and Diablo, of course, know each other better than brothers, I would say. So the Jordan Slade, of course, coming from 101, as well as Alluvio, they know each other well from training together. They make a good team, but are they going to be able to match the in-ring chemistry that Chris Watson and Diablo Blanco already have?
Well, we've had a lot of people asking, hey, when is La Migra going to defend the title against somebody else? When are they going to give somebody else an opportunity? I mean, Los Carnales has had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and they can't get it done. So I said, hey, why not give Alluvio and Jordan Slade an opportunity? So we're going to have that match. We'll see what they bring to the table.
And this match is for the tag team titles, is that correct?
It is for the West Texas Tag Team Championship. Yes, it is.
That's going to be a great match. And then we come to the match that everybody's talking about. You have Stevan Remsen and El Gringo Loco, Squared Circle Pro champion El Gringo Loco.
Yes.
Versus the Love Machine himself, Tino Valentino, and also Squared Circle Pro champion, American Tragedy Phoenix.
The possessor of a championship that was stripped of him, Phoenix. Phoenix may not look for the people that are hating on it and the people that are upset. Look, let's just throw this out here and let's just talk about it. I am the owner of SCP. I can trump any decision made by a championship committee if I choose to. And I stripped Phoenix of that championship in May
His title lineage ended in May. He is walking around with a championship belt that he does not own. He is carrying stolen property. It doesn't matter what you think about Gringo. It doesn't matter what you think about how he won the championship. It doesn't matter how much you love Phoenix. The fact of the matter is this. The person in charge made a decision, and the person that decision affected refuses to relinquish the championship. At the end of the day, I'm right, he's wrong, and if you choose to support him, that's okay. You can be wrong too. That's perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, it is Tino Valentino and Phoenix versus SCP champion El Gringo Loco and Steve-On Remsen, and the stakes are as follows. If Gringo and Remsen win the match, Joseph Norris will hand over his stolen property. If Phoenix and Tino Valentino happen to win this match, at Pieces for Quitters on November 22nd, there will be a ladder match with 2 titles hanging above the ring. And it will be Gringo versus Phoenix for those championships.
Now, just to represent those that have spoken to me regarding this match, and of course, no disrespect meant by this, in your decisions. There has been talk that Phoenix is a champion who won his belt, and the term paper champ has been put out there more than once regarding El Gringo Loco in the way that he obtained his championship.
Look, I'm not the one who decided to have a winner's circle battle royal to crown a number 1 contender. That was TJ. I'm the one who came out and fixed his ridiculous match, and I'm the one who made the decision to strip Phoenix of the championship for no showing an event. So here's the thing. Gringo would have already defended the title twice if it hadn't been for getting into matches with Phoenix, who should not even be in the conversation. So at the end of the day, you can say paper champion all you want to. In the record books, SCP champion Gringo starts in May. SCP champion Phoenix ends in May. Though that is just the facts of the matter, and you can choose to be upset about it. It doesn't change the fact that those are the facts.
I am unbiased here. I'm just representing a group of people that had things to say about it that don't have a voice here.
That's great, and that's great. A broken clock is right twice a day. Well, isn't that the rule?
That's
like whatever. Who cares? At the end of the day, that's where we are.
Well, no doubt about it. This is going to be a great match. I mean, Remsen.
You're forgetting my announcement.
Oh no, I'm not.
You're forgetting my big announcement. Oh, okay, all right.
I'm just not done with this match. Remsen, of course, the ring bully and aptly named. If you've seen him in the ring, you understand he's not coming in there to wrestle you. He's coming in there, beat your ass, take your lunch money, and leave.
Yes, he is.
Gringo, the wily veteran, knows his way around a squared circle pro ring better than most. Tino Valentino, the love machine, he's quick, he's accurate, and he can be lethal in the ring. And then, of course, Phoenix is a machine, and it takes a lot to shut that machine down. So all these different styles, all the power that's going to be in the ring, this match is going to be explosive, and I, for one, am looking forward to it.
It should be a really good match. It's going to be a match that the ending is already a foregone conclusion, and we shouldn't even really be here. But I mean, sure, it'll be fun while it's going on.
Nope, that's fair. That's fair. And now, to your point, the last thing that I've got for Squared Circle Pro Birthaversary, a very special announcement by the one and only Rick Elzy. So what can we expect in this special announcement?
You can expect the newest member of the LZ administration, a returning SCP champion. Okay. Now, there have been a lot of champions from the beginning of SCP up until now.
14
And there's a
years,
lot
man.
of people who have held that title who are not on the current roster. There's some
Never
people
mind going
that, I mean, look, there's a lot of people that have held that title that the fans really, really love. There's a lot of people that have held that title that the fans don't care too much for. The person that's going to walk through the curtain on Saturday to sign a new contract with the LZ administration, maybe it's somebody they love, maybe it's somebody they hate, but at the end of the day, I will tell you, it is a former SCP champion. So let the speculation begin.
Well, Mike's in the chat wanting to know, because he needs to know, is it the Dandy?
It is not the Southern Dandy.
J-Rev asking, can I work remotely? You want to go to work for the LD administration, Cameron?
Hey, we look, I already have eyes and ears everywhere. Okay.
Long before the forward-facing LZ administration, as it were, we've known that.
Oh yeah. So yeah, hey, anybody that wants to get on board, I offered back in May for people to step through the step through the ropes and get on board. And a lot of the people that are failing right now, the people that are floundering right now, the people that are on the defensive right now are the people who stood in that room and chose not to step through those ropes. So whose fault is that?
You make a valid point. Cameron says he wants to join the administration. Doesn't need anything big. 95K a year ought to cover it. He's not a greedy man. Nothing real big there.
It should be a good night. It should be a good night. Should have a lot of fun. Birthaversary. Doors open at 5:30. We will have the return of pre-show promos hosted by Lee XL. And we will have, everybody will get a chance to talk about their match that night. And show will start straight up 6 o'clock as always. And we will be off to the races. Opening match is the 8-man tag.
I know I'm looking forward to it. Yours truly will be there doing the ring announcing, and I can't wait for that. Again, the Island Street Fight, I'm going to say this is Samoa, this is Rage. Bye. I'm getting the hell out of the way.
Yeah, I would. I might announce that one from the floor.
The stage, more like it.
Look, here's the thing. If you got the mic, where you announce the match is not I don't care. I don't care where you stand. As long as you announce the match. You go be safe.
Well, Rick, I want to thank you for being on the show. Of course, if you're in the Lubbock area, you need to be at Jake's Saturday night. Doors are at 5:30. Get there earlier than that. $10 at the door. Like, you are not going to beat that for the amount of action you're going to get at this show. I challenge you to find any other show with this kind of action that you can pay $10 at the door. You're just not. It's not going to happen. It's going to be an epic show, and I'd love to see each and every one of you there. If you can't be there, I believe are we still down on Heck Yeah Radio and still doing TJ's YouTube, or?
It's going to be live on the YouTube, TJ Mundell's YouTube. That's where it will be streaming. And yeah, it will be live there if they want to go check it out.
Okay, so youtube.com, look up TJ Mundell. You can watch the show live as it happens. I will tell you that's one way to do it, but it doesn't touch the live experience. So if you are in the area, bring your ass to Jake's.
And SCP has a way of delivering at times with surprises, shocking moments, extras, things like that. I can tell you there's going to be a couple of things on this show that we haven't talked about. There's going to be a couple of things on this show that I am very much looking forward to. You remember the old movie Jaws? Remember
yeah.
how you spent the first 3/4 of the movie and you hadn't even seen the shark?
Mhm.
And then suddenly we have the scene where he's chumming the water and the shark comes out of nowhere and everybody screams and he backs slowly into the boat and he says, "You're going to need a bigger boat."
You're going to need a bigger boat.
Remember how much you were out of breath in that moment?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's Birthaversary.
See, now you've got me. I already got my mind going on who this former champion is going to be. And now you got me wondering what kind of extra stuff you got going on.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
See, here's the thing you guys don't understand. I get to announce the card. I get to announce the matches that are going to happen. But I don't get to know what he knows until it comes to a point where he's coming out and I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, Rick Elsey. And then I get to sit there and listen like everybody else.
I find it to be much more entertaining for me if a minute amount of people know what's happening.
Well, it works well. I will tell you that. It's a very good logic to use.
Yeah.
Well, we're a little bit past time, but hey, who's counting? So, Rick, I do want to thank you for coming on the show. It is always a pleasure to have you on.
Awesome.
I want to thank everybody that's been in the chat, everybody that's watching, everybody that's listening. Thank you so much for giving us this platform to talk wrestling, to talk West Texas Independent Wrestling. It's because of you we do this. Love each and every one of you. We will be back here tomorrow night for a watch along for SmackDown, and then Saturday, Jake's Backroom, Lubbock, Texas, Birthaversary. Be there. Until then, I'm Guapo. That's Rick Elsey, and we're not your average marks. See y'all next time. Yeah.
I'm gonna drink